About 5 or 6 months ago, I made a video talking about video games that were going to be or in the talks of being made into movies, and on that list there was Street Fighter. Now, at the time I made this video, Street Fighter the movie wasn't like this big confirmed thing where the cast had been confirmed or there was like a little teaser trailer or, you know, leaks or anything like that. It was pretty much just in the works, and there was this like poster made of it, so it very easily could have been fake. But I put it in my video nonetheless, just to see, you know, if one day further down the line it would be confirmed, essentially. And now it has been confirmed. We have a lot of new news about the Street Fighter movie. So usually when I make a video like this talking about an upcoming movie or an upcoming series or anything like that, I will show the trailer. However, every time I've done that, I've done it with, you know, Welcome to Derry, Five Nights at Freddy's, and every time I do, the video gets copyrighted just because of the music that they use in it is usually the problem. And in the Street Fighter trailer, it's only like 50 seconds or so, but they play a lot of this song called Punk Tactics, and I know that the video would get copyrighted if I played you the trailer. So what we're going to do instead is we're just going to run through the trailer just in little sections, because there's the start of the trailer, the first like 10 seconds of the trailer, they're just showing every character one by one. So I'm going to go through the character, explain what I think about how they look and the casting and that sort of thing, and then we'll just take it from there, I guess. So I guess we'll just start here. We have Kalina Liang as Chun-Li. I've never heard of Kalina Liang before, so I don't know if she's a good actress or I don't know what other projects she's been in. But as far as her being cast for Chun-Li, I don't know how it's going to be, because like I just mentioned, I've never heard of this lady. However, she, you know, in costume and everything like that, it looks like she fits the part pretty well. So, I don't know, fingers crossed. I'm hoping that all of this casting, because it's a pretty wacky cast, I'm sure most people have heard of, you know, the cast of Street Fighter by now. But based on looking at the cast, I don't know, we'll just need to have our fingers crossed and hope that everyone can pull their own weight and play their character well. Now, this is probably the most perfect casting throughout the entire movie. They have Oliver Richards, aka the Dutch Giant, playing Zangief. I mean, look at this guy. So, for those who don't know, this is, I believe, he's just like this bodybuilder. I don't think he's actually a strongman or anything like that. I think he just works out a lot, and he's mainly an actor. He's been in a series called Reacher, which I've never seen. It's a popular series, though. But this guy is perfect for the role. I mean, look at his build. He's jacked. And B, I'm pretty sure he's like 7'2" or something like that, or 7'3". And if you know Zangief, I'll put a picture up on screen here. The guy is huge. He's the biggest character in the game. So I think this role was made for Oliver Richards. I think they couldn't have cast this any more perfectly. And from what I have seen of him, he seems like a pretty decent actor, you know, so I'm not really worried about this character being bad. I think he'll be able to handle him very well. Now, this is where I get a little bit on the fence. We have 50 Cent as Balrog, which is like the boxer. I've never seen 50 Cent act before. I've only heard him rap. I mean, maybe if this movie was made like 20 years ago, I'll be a bit more relaxed seeing 50 Cent in this role. But I'm quite hesitant for it, because 50 Cent, how old is 50 Cent? Like 50? But hey, you know, I've never seen him act. He could be the next Hollywood A-list actor. I don't even know if he has ever acted before. I'm sure he probably has, but not from what I've seen. But I have faith. Now, this is also very good casting. I apologize if I get the name wrong here. Vidyut Jamwal as Dalsim. Again, never heard of this guy, never seen him act before. He looks like he can, he fits the character very well, as we can see on screen. This is probably the second best casting throughout the entire movie, underneath Zangief. But again, just everyone that I don't know on this list, I can't even comment whether or not, I think they're going to be good or bad as the role, because I don't have a clue. Again, just like Chun-Li, this guy looks like he fits the role very well. Costumes in this movie, by the way, everyone's costume looks great from what I've seen. There are a few that they've made either minor tweaks to or just completely changed, which we'll get into that when we get to that character. But as for Dalsim's actor here, I'm not going to attempt to say his name again. Again, fingers crossed. I can't comment on him if I've never seen him act before. I never even heard of the guy, but hopefully he plays the character well. Next up, we have Haruki Goto, apologies if I butchered that name as well, as Honda. again, the costume looks great. They've took away his like red face paint. I'm pretty sure Honda usually has some sort of like red streaks on his face. Again, never heard of this guy. We're gonna go through this for a few more people, but never heard of this guy. Again, looks like he fits the role pretty well. Fingers crossed, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Next up, we have Mel Johnson as Cammy. Again, this costume looks great. You know, it's very vibrant, which is another thing I like about what they've done with the trailer, or I guess the movie, is that they've made it, and you can go watch the trailer yourself, obviously I mentioned I can't play it, but they've made it so, like, colourful and over the top and, like, almost just dumb in a way, which I'm excited for because I watched the original Street Fighter movie not long ago. Obviously, that was, you know, like, how long ago was that? Like 30, 40 years ago they made that or something like that. And it was a very more serious movie. Like, there wasn't a whole lot of jokes or anything like that. It was literally like an Avengers movie, just like good guys against bad guys. But this one looks like a kind of goofy, funny kind of movie, which I'm glad they did. I'm glad they made it this vibrant, you know, goofy movie. But with that aside, again, never heard of this actress, so fingers crossed she plays the role well. Right, next up we have Andrew Koji as Ryu. We're just going to brush past this one because, again, I've never heard of this guy. However, he looks like he fits the role of Ryu pretty well, especially with the costume, looks sick. Alright, now we're getting in some hot water because I know a lot of people have been, you know, iffy about this one. It's either like, oh, this guy's great for the role, or everyone thinks that this was a terrible casting. We have David Dastmalchian, I'm pretty sure I'm saying that right, as Bison. Now, Bison, which I'm sure a lot of people know if you know what Street Fighter is like the main villain. He is like the boss of all the villains kind of thing. And unfortunately, I believe my favourite actor, Walton Goggins, who plays like Baby Billy in Righteous Gemstones, or the Ghoul in the Fallout series, or he was also, what was that character's name? Damn it, I can't remember. He was in Ant-Man, one of the Ant-Man movies. He was in talks, I believe, to play Bison, and obviously he didn't get it. David Dastmalchian got it. However, I do like David Dastmalchian as an actor as well. I've seen him in a lot of things. I've seen him in Suicide Squad, Late Night with the Devil. He was also in the Ant-Man movies as well. And I also watched Creep, the movies, and the Creep Tape Season 2 got released, and he was one of the, like, victims in, I think it was the second episode, something like that. So, I do really like David as an actor, and I do think he's going to play the role pretty well, but I have seen a lot of people saying, oh my god, this is a terrible casting, why would you cast this person? Which I don't really understand what they're talking about, because he is a great character, and by the looks of it anyway, he fits the role pretty well. Alright, this is probably the most controversial casting from what I've heard anyway throughout the whole movie. We have Andrew Schultz as Dan Hibiki. Now, just from what I've read, I don't know a whole lot about Andrew Schultz. All I know is that he's a comedian, and I did know him before this. But from what I'm reading from people like commenting on this casting and that sort of thing, apparently Andrew Schultz isn't a very nice guy. I have no idea. I just see a lot of people calling him a prick here and there. As for acting, again, I've never seen him in an acting role. And this is the design that I didn't really understand. I like the design. I like the whole, you know, pink suit and that sort of thing. Dan Hibiki's character is like this cocky, you know, no one really likes him kind of character. So I suppose if people keep commenting stuff like, Andrew Schultz sucks, I hate this character, then that was kind of the goal, I guess, with the casting. But as for the design, Dan Hibiki, A, doesn't usually have a mustache. B, I mean, the hair is great. B, he doesn't usually wear a pink suit either. He wears like this kind of karate jumpsuit kind of thing. It is pink, however. But as for Andrew Schultz himself playing this character, I don't know. We're just going to have to, once again, wait and see. I've never seen him act before. I feel like he, from what I have seen of him, comedian-wise, I feel like he's going to play the role alright. I think he's going to play the role pretty well. But, you know, we haven't really seen anything from in the Street Fighter movie in terms of these actors. So, I don't know. I'm definitely going to butcher this next name. We have Raina Vallandigham as Julie. Again, brushing past this one, never heard of this actress. You only have pretty much this short scene in the trailer, and I'm pretty sure there's another scene where she's being choked or something like that. Never seen her act before. I have faith. Next up, we have Orville Peck as Vega. Brushing past this one once again. I don't know who Orville Peck is. I just read a little bit there. He's a musician, I believe. And he always wears a mask, so I guess casting him for Vega, who always wears a mask, good move. Now this is one a lot of people are talking about, and a lot of people are happy with, as far as I'm aware. We have Cody Rhodes as Gyu. Alright, turns out I just completely butchered that name. Turns out it's not Gyu, it's Guile. I don't know why I said Gyu, the word doesn't even look anything like it. I know Cody Rhodes from wrestling. I actually met Cody Rhodes one time when I was like literally this size. I don't remember it, you know. I don't remember what I had for breakfast yesterday, so I don't remember meeting Cody Rhodes. Obviously I have, and that was when he was like kind of just becoming Cody Rhodes, I suppose, in the WWE. As for his casting, I've only seen him act once, and it was in the recent Naked Gun movie. He was like a bartender, and he was alright, I guess. He only had a short role in it, but it was what it was. Once again, I have faith. Seems like a nice guy. I've met him before. You know, we're practically like this now that I think about it. I've got his phone number and everything. So my friend, he actually reached out to me and asked for my permission if he can play this because he knew I'd make this video. And I said, you know what? I'll give you a chance. Go for it. Now here we have Noah Centineo as Ken. Brushing past it again. Never heard of Noah Centineo. Looks well for Ken, I suppose. Another wrestler here as well as Cody Rhodes. We have Roman Reigns playing Akuma. The look for Akuma, though, in this movie, I will say, looks sick, and he suits the role very well. Just whether or not he's going to act well as Akuma, I don't know. My fingers are so sore because they're being crossed so hard for this role. I hope he does well. And everyone seems to like the fact that he's been cast for this role as well, so that's also a good sign. I hate people complaining just for no reason. Like Andrew Schultz, for example, just because he might not be a great guy, that's not what the casting directors are looking for. They're just looking for someone who can play the role well. Who knows? Andrew Schultz could literally play Dan Hibiki perfectly in this role, and he's everyone's favourite character. We don't know until the movie actually comes out. Next up, we have Alexander Volkanovski as Joe. I'm going to be honest, I'd never even heard of the Street Fighter character Joe before this. However, I have heard of the guy playing him, Alexander. I know he's a UFC fighter, and that's all I know of him. Never seen him act, never even heard him speak. All I know is that he was an MMA fighter. So, by the looks of it, the character Joe is some sort of fighter. MMA fighter, I guess, or UFC kind of fighter. Not UFC, what the fuck? Some sort of mixed martial artists kind of guy. Now, I tried to pause it on a spot here where you can make out who it is, but you still can't really. This is Eric Andre playing Don Savage. I've seen Eric Andre act in stuff before, and I've also seen him in Jackass, which I know that was him playing himself, but I'm just naming things I've seen him in. And he is also a comedian. Oh, he was in Righteous Gemstones too, actually, now that I think about it, yeah. So he is a comedian, and Don Savage is like this kind of goofy announcer. He's not really a fighter, I don't believe. But once again, fingers crossed he plays the role well. No doubt in my mind that he will, especially on this scene in the trailer here, which I guess I'll show you. It won't get copyrighted because it's only like 2 seconds. Now there's one more person in the cast that they don't show you in the movie, and that's Jason Momoa as Blanka, which again is incredible casting. And I know Jason Momoa said at the Game Awards, in fact, that he practically begged for this role as Blanka, which I don't blame him because he just seems like such a perfect fit for this type of role. And I'll throw a picture up on screen now of what he looks like as Blanka because they released a poster for everyone, which you probably know. I've probably been showing it throughout the whole video, in fact. Actually, scrap everything I've just said. Now, 20 minutes into recording this, that's what I'm going to do. Forget the trailer. I'm just going to show you the character poster for each character rather than pausing on each character in the trailer. It's like the stupidest thing. I don't know why I didn't think of that 20 minutes ago, but oh god. But yeah, Jason Momoa, perfect fit for Blanka. He, like I mentioned, he explained how he begged for the role practically. Yeah, makes sense. Jason Momoa, Blanka. And I believe that's me being through everyone in the main cast. There's also a guy called Marvin in it, but I don't think he's part of the game. I think he's just like someone they added into the movie as a movie character. I'm excited for this movie nonetheless. Go watch the trailer. I thought I'd been showing it this whole time, but I obviously hadn't. But yeah, I think the trailer's sick. I think the cast, although it might be a bit wacky, I think a lot of them have been pretty well cast by the looks of it anyway. Especially for the people I don't know. It looks like they'll play the roles fairly well, hopefully. And yeah, I'm out of here.